Να σας συστήσω την κυρία Μαργαρίτα Μανούσου, που είναι ακριβώς δίπλα μου και θα συντονίσω μαζί αυτή την τρίτη ενότητα, που είναι αρχισυντάκτρια της Τουριστικής Αγοράς και του MEETINGREECE και έγκυρη δημοσιογράφος εδώ και πάρα πολλά χρόνια του τουρισμού.
Καλησπέρα σε όλους. Με τους περισσότερους γνωρίζομαι και προσωπικά. Εντάξει, θα συνεχίσουμε την πολύ ενδιαφέρουσα συνεδρία που έχουμε τώρα. Στο τέλος θα γίνουν οι ερωτήσεις, ναι, συγγνώμη. Στο τέλος θα γίνουν οι ερωτήσεις για να μπορεί να είναι και πιο ουσιαστικό όλο το κομμάτι και των απαντήσεων. Έχουμε και την τεχνολογία εδώ που μας υποστηρίζει σε αυτόν τον τομέα. Ήθελα απλώς πριν να συστήσω, ποιος χρειάζεται σύσταση, τον κύριο Αργύρη, ήθελα απλώς να πω ότι ο τίτλος ο αγγλικός του σημερινής θεματικής ενότητας συμφωνώ εγώ περισσότερο. Στο εξωτερικό τουλάχιστον το MICE τείνει να καταργηθεί. Meetings Industry, λέγεται Meetings Activity, για πολλούς λόγους και νομίζω πιο καλό είναι και εμείς να το υιοθετήσουμε έτσι. Πέρα από αυτό τώρα θα σας μιλήσει ο κύριος Αργύρης, ένας από τους gentlemen του συνεδριακού τουρισμού και που έχει να μας μεταφέρει πραγματικά μια τεράστια εμπειρία, επιτυχημένη εμπειρία από το 1977 με το Conceptours και με την τεράστια επιτυχία που είχε σε δύσκολες αγορές και ήταν και ένας από τους πρώτους εκείνης της περίοδου στο σωστό κομμάτι των incentives και σε όλη του τη δουλειά. Κύριε Αργύρη.
Ευχαριστώ, Μαργαρίτα. Ομολογώ είναι δύσκολο να σκεφτώ ότι άρχισα την εταιρεία μου εδώ και 50 χρόνια. Και πράγματι είναι 50 χρόνια. Αλλά όταν με ρωτάμε πόσο χρονό είμαι, πάντα απαντάω 39 ετών και μερικούς εκατοντάδες μήνες. You'll permit me to speak in English. It's a bit easier for me, and I see one gentleman there with headphones. And I'll start therefore in English, but all of you will obviously understand in this business of ours that we all speak English. Dinos Astras, my friend and president of Hapco, had asked me to address you of what the future of mice has in store for us. And my question is, the future? What future? I'm not a fortune teller. So I asked my crystal ball. And one of its answers was the internet, the World Wide Web. As most of you will remember, it was not long ago that meeting planners and event organizers relied fully on a destination's PCO for the client's programs. Since that time, the evolution of the mice, of the mice industry, and I like this word, mice, instead of mice, what you said, let's hope we'll change it, because mice is, it's not only Mickey Mouse, it's rats, basically.
Yeah, exactly, that's what it is. That's why they've stopped using it.
Since the evolution of the internet, the mice industry has been geometric, mostly due to the internet having put to everyone's disposal the needed information of local suppliers. Just about everything is available on the internet for meeting planners, from conference meeting venues through hotels, transportation, AV, and most all other information. And that makes it easier for the meeting planner to bypass the PCO or the D.M.C. The question arises whether the internet is a PCO's friend or foe. However, the question the meeting planners should ask is if there is a risk involved in going directly to the various sources and bypass the PCO or the D.M.C. Any plausible risks can be eliminated when the meeting planner utilizes the professional services of a legitimate PCO. PCOs provide professional full-service management for congresses. Let me repeat, the professional services of a legitimate and genuine PCO with a proven track record that can and will provide full and complete service management for the complex demands of Congress exhibitions. Unfortunately, some ground suppliers through their websites imply to be PCOs or DMCs, when in reality they are not. They can be basically just be travel agents or bus transportation companies. Very good at a particular profession, but that's where it all ends. One of the problems we in Greece have to overcome is that licenses granted by the National Tourist Board do not differentiate between the specialized phases of our industry. The very same license, as we all know, is granted to every sector of travel and tourism. Whether for a tour operator, a PCO, a bus company, or just about whoever, especially in the provinces here in Greece, there are a lot of such little companies, travel companies, that even sell lotteries. Certification is therefore direly needed, if only to direct the meeting planner to the right partner as far as the destination is concerned. Our local trade associations have long endeavored to impress on our GNTO to differentiate licenses for each of the specialized phases of our industry. But to date, this has not been achieved. I recall when I used to be vice president of HATA, and our president is sitting right here, we had direly endeavored with one of the secretary generals at the time, Nikos Koulas, to differentiate about the certification. We had almost achieved it. He had understood the demand, but then, of course, everything went blank after that. Until appropriate certification can be obtained, the burden falls on Hapco to inform the meeting planners that their members are legitimate bona fide PCOs and to be wary of anybody else. Nevertheless, a client's temptation to bypass intermediary PCO is centered on saving money. Inevitably, a PCO has better purchasing power with hotels, conference venues, AV companies, caterers, and all suppliers. It is such PCO attributes that clients and meeting planners should be reminded of, and those are quite a few. A PCO has the most thorough knowledge of his destination and is constantly updated with new products. A PCO will guide the meeting planner through the jungle of suppliers in order to better answer the client's requirements and maximize his satisfaction. A PCO can save the meeting planner valuable time in directing him to the right hotel suitable for the client's specific profile. A PCO frequently re-evaluates hotels, venues, restaurants, transportation, guides, hostesses, and everything needed, if only to determine if they meet all criteria as demanded nowadays by international clients, and more particularly by other competing destinations that have gone far ahead, unfortunately, far ahead than what Greece is right now. Another attribute that a PCO and a D.M.C can offer is definitely added values. Added value is an increase in worth of a product or service, and this is usually offered free, either by hotels or by venues, or even by the PCO or the D.M.C. A PCO is frequently confronted to a wide range of demands and is therefore obliged to constantly be imaginative and original in his creativity. And more important, a PCO is the client's absolute security fulfilling a flawless Congress program. The crystal ball emphasized and reminded me of these facts, certainly only a fraction of what a PCO can and will provide. And of importance also to underline that a PCO will always have a plan B in case of a problem arises during a province operation. And I don't mean about the riots that unfortunately Greece had over the past few years, and they're gone and over, I hope. But we're looking at Lufthansa had a strike a few months ago, which crippled us, especially here in Greece with so many flights. A PCO and a D.M.C does have a plan B for them. Therefore, a PCO and a D.M.C is a planner's security. I then asked the crystal ball, what else does the future herald in the field of MICE? In no uncertain terms, the crystal ball told me that the MICE future will blend and combine congresses and meetings together with some incentive elements to motivate a potential delegate to participate in the Congress. one will logically ask if a business meeting should include incentive features. The undisputed fact is that a potential delegate will be much more motivated to attend a Congress if the program includes unique features for them to experience. Let us not forget that particularly in the pharmaceutical trade, the doctors that are invited by several different companies. And they will choose if they will go to Greece or Italy or to Afghanistan. So it's a matter of motivation and how we can motivate them to come. Features to motivate within a Congress program can be several. For instance, a renowned celebrity or politician to address a Congress's opening session. I will not hide the fact that many years ago, when I used to be the president and chairman of ASTA International, I had invited Henry Kissinger. Initially, ASTA conventions could only gather in the region of about 4,000 people, 4,000 members, at a very hefty price, by the way. When we announced that Henry Kissinger was going to be the speaker, I'm going back in the 80s right now, we automatically had, almost overnight, 7,000 members attending. This happened also recently at the recent convention that I attended in Las Vegas when ex-President Clinton was there. And I understand their honorariums are not all that high, acceptable or at least manageable for just about everybody's budget. But in addition to that, why not have a private visit to a museum? And we can do that now here with the Acropolis Museum, which has been voted one of the best museums in the world. And we can have the curator of the museum to personally attend and explain certain relics and, of the visit. We've got some superb venues here in Athens, or in Greece, I should say, and one of them, of course, is the Zapion. A spectacular dinner can be had there and can be catered by a celebrity Michelin awarded chef. And we advertise that. And obviously topped with impressive decor and entertainment. As I told you, I attended, I was an invited guest there, at a meeting, a business meeting of a corporation. It had to do with IT in the United States about a year ago. I was surprised when finally the president of the corporation asked his members, and we're talking about something in the region of about 300 members in the audience. His question was, where in the world would you want to meet next? Believe it or not, Greece is consistently among the top 10 destinations requested. And I was happy to see, actually it was in Dallas, Texas, that a lot of the people had asked for Greece for their next meeting. It hasn't happened as yet, but hope it will happen. But as you all know, surveys do have Greece one of the top 10 destinations that people want to visit more. And in certain, Forbes, as a matter of fact, had a recent survey, and Greece was amongst the top 5. Actually, let me rephrase that. It was not Greece, it was Santorini itself, but that's Greece. So Greece is a much desired destination that offers Congress organizers good airlift, world-class hotels and conference centers, and of more importance, highly professional PCOs that have the command of local knowledge. As most of you are aware, Greece participates in all of the major trade shows in the world and also some of the not-so-major shows as well, to certain shady countries where they start to have trade shows. Happily, Greece is in attendance. These trade shows are attended also by PCOs, D.M.Cs, hoteliers, providing buyers with up-to-date information on the destination. I've lost my, there you go. And now we come to a very delicate question. A question that unfortunately is often asked is how Greece's grim economy will affect the MICE industry and the industry in general. Tourism was the very first sector to be hit when the scale of Athens budgetary overflows became apparent in the late 2009. As Greeks took over the streets in stunned anger, tens of thousands of room nights were cancelled in a matter of days. And this can be substituted by the hotels like Eva and other hotels here. No place was worse affected than Athens, from where televised images and riots, tear gas, and burning buildings were shown around the world. Yet, in a turnaround that surprised even industry figures, the Greek capital saw a 750,000 increase in arrivals during 2014. That was last year. Bookings for 2015 show an increase over 2004. This chart shows Greece's tourism revenue in billion euros per year. You will see the scale. Note the striking decreases between 2009 and 2012. It crippled a lot of D.M.Cs, several hotels. A lot of colleagues in our trade had to close down, but several survived, thank goodness. By the way, the 2014 amount of 13 billion is currently estimated, whereas for 2015, the GNTO has recently guesstimated that we will have a turnover revenue of between 19 billion or over. Remains to be seen. It is also of interest to mention that advanced bookings for 2016 and 2017 are even more optimistic. It is therefore for these reasons that several airlines have already announced escalated flight schedules to Greece, with further plans to intensify them in 2016 and beyond. Yes, the MICE industry heralds a bright future for Greece, and hope that with everybody's help we can make it happen. Thank you very much.